Hello everybody, nice to see you again. So today we're going to talk about digital transformation. So we will explain what digital transformation is and why it's important. However, before I start, let me share with you some numbers. The overall global spending in 2020 on information technology was 4.9 trillion US dollars. The spending on artificial intelligence is projected to be $554 billion by 2024. Other areas of ICT that have witnessed a lot of spending is cloud services. In 2019, the spending on cloud services, cloud computing, cloud storage is $235 billion. Spending on the Internet of Things by 2023 is projected to be 1.1 trillion US dollars. And then finally, spending on blockchain technology, which is the basis for cryptocurrency, by 2024 is projected to be 19 billion US dollars. So clearly you can see that there's a lot of spending that is happening in the domain of information communication technologies. Now, the global spending on digital transformation is 2.4 trillion US dollars projected by 2024. So organizations are spending a lot of money, not only on ICT, but also on the digital transformation. The most digitally competitive country in the world is obviously the United States. It's the biggest economy, has a lot of the technology companies, and in the Arab world, the most digitally competitive country is the United Arab Emirates. So when companies are asked what is the number one priority for IT initiatives, they always answer that we want to be able to successfully manage the digital transformation journey. So it's at the top of the agenda of most organizations. So the question is, what is digital transformation? Well, simply put, digital transformation is the integration of digital technologies in all aspects of the organization, the operations, the processes, customer engagement, the engagement with in the supply chain, with the partners, and so on. Now, for what purpose? Well, there are many different purposes, and that's what we're going to answer as to why digital transformation is so important. So, number one is increase agility and innovation. Agility is the ability of the organization to deal with unforeseen circumstances, unforeseen events. For example, the COVID-19 situation, it was completely unforeseen, and then organizations needed to be agile to respond to the challenge and survive, not only survive, but also perhaps succeed in this environment. Also innovation, because with digital transformation, there's a lot of innovation that occurs, and that of course would be adopted by the organization. It improves the processes and operations. It's all about efficiency. It's all about streamlining your processes and making sure that things are simple, they contribute to the bottom line, and they promote efficiency and effectiveness of what you're trying to do. Transforms the customer experience. We're all about customer experience. Everybody wants their customers to be fully engaged, have good customer experience in all the touch points with the organization. As you know, in the UAE, we go a little bit further and we say that we want customer happiness, which is a higher state than just customer satisfaction. It encourages collaboration across departments. This is something very important, especially for large organizations, because we observe that many departments operate on silos, operate independently, and don't communicate with the other departments. And that's a phenomena that is not good for organizations' growth and efficiency. So with digital transformation, we are able to minimize the silo or the separation between the different departments. fosters the digital culture because, as we know, we live in a digitally enabled culture, and organizations that are digitally ready and digitally enabled and adapt the culture, the digital culture, can better succeed in that environment. Updates the skills and the knowledge. That's very important because these new technologies, they require a new set of skills, a new set of knowledge, which means that that would be transferred to the organization, and then the organization can benefit from that in very profound ways. And finally, of course, collect the data from this digital environment, analyze it, and gain insights about the future through machine learning. So all of that is possible by the digital transformation environment. The next question is that what are the main areas of digital transformation? Well, number one, of course, is artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is when you make a machine have human intelligence. And there are different types of artificial intelligence, from narrow intelligence to general intelligence, and we can talk about this in future lecture. Machine learning and big data. Machine learning, of course, is the basis for AI. We talked about this in the previous video. I hope that it was clear enough in the simplest form. Big data is, of course, we have massive amount of data that we are collecting, every organization is collecting, and analyzing that data and gaining insight from that data to improve the business through the machine learning models. Cloud computing, cloud services also is a major area of digital transformation. Blockchain technologies, we mentioned that earlier, is the basis for cryptocurrency. It's a distributed ledger that provides a high level of security of all transactions. The Internet of Things. This is when almost every device becomes intelligent and connected, and then transmits data, receives data, and so on. And you can imagine the amount of data that would be generated out of the Internet of Things. And of course, the Internet of Things is being accelerated with the 5G technology. 5G technology, as you know, is much, much faster than the 4G technologies. It's going to become very, very possible to interconnect the world, have an interconnected world where every device is connected to the internet. And then finally, of course, with all of that, at the basis of it is what? Cybersecurity. Because with the amount of users, with the amount of information, with the amount of transactions that are happening, cybersecurity becomes a very, very important piece of this puzzle. And we see that how cybersecurity has really been focused on by many organizations and governments through the COVID-19 pandemic, where almost all of us started using MS Teams and all these Zoom and so on and so forth, and we started transacting a lot of things on the internet. And then cybersecurity, of course, is an important piece of that to protect not only the assets but also the individuals and the security and money and so on and so forth. So, what are some of the digital transformation challenges? Okay, well, the number one challenge is the skills gap between those who can manage the digital transformation and those people who are used to the normal ICT. There's a huge gap between these two. So that's a big challenge for companies to manage. When companies are asked how come the digital transformation is not happening fast enough, is there any impediment to the digital transformation? And 62% of companies say, yes, we have challenges. And in many cases, our digital transformation projects, they actually stall. They are meeting some challenges and they're not going as smooth as possible. So how do we address these challenges? Now, obviously, I advocate developing digital transformation strategy, because when you develop a strategy, then you can ensure that things are clear within your site, and that your business strategy, your resources, your operational processes, your environment, your business model is all contained within that strategy, and it becomes a very effective way to deal with the challenges that organizations may in fact encounter. So in conclusion then, what digital transformation is, we also explained why it is important to organizations throughout the world, and we also briefly defined some of the major challenges and possibly how to deal with that through the digital transformation strategy, which is going to be the subject of our next video. So in the next video then, we will discuss what are the elements of a good digital transformation strategy, and we're going to go even further than the strategy, and we're going to dig to the implementation of the strategy by talking about an implementation strategy and what are the elements of that. So with that, then I conclude the video. I enjoyed talking to you. I'll see you on the next video.